Before we begin the video, if you haven't yet, come on down and join my Discord server. Link is down in the description. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for my review of the 5th episode of Season 12, titled I Am Okino. We meet a samurai named Okino in the game zone Terra Karana, and his sole purpose is to guide other people. First, Okino meets a very reckless person who immediately gets himself killed, and we learn that when someone dies, they turn into a pile of orange cubes, which is then collected by a drone. People keep arriving, but they keep dying and they fail to listen to Okino. Then he meets a guide and his master, who give Okino some words of encouragement. So Okino leads another person all the way to the maze, only for that person to, again, then die. Okino, feeling very defeated, is at his lowest point yet. But then the ninja arrive, and they lift him up, and they ask him to be their guide. First of all, I want to say that Okino is a good character. I will start off with that. I quite like that this episode is developing him and characterizing him, and that is something that the season really needs. Up until this point, we really hadn't had any good character moments, not even for the ninja, but this is a start and hopefully more will come later on. Okino's a cool character, and pretty well written for the most part too. Now, I also like that this episode answers the big question, what exactly happens to people when they die? The answer? They turn to a pile of cubes. Probably not what you and I had been expecting, but I still like that they included this answer in the episode. This episode also does a great job at introducing us to this game zone. We get to see the cliffs, the forest, and a bit of the maze as well. I also think the scene with the other guide, who by the way was wearing Blizzard samurai armor, I thought that scene was good except for a few parts. It helped push forward Okino's character development because in a way it kind of revived him. That and also the ninja meeting him at the end, which I also think was a good scene. To sum it up, this episode had two major highlights. One of them is Okino. I think he's a good character and I'm also excited to see more of him in the coming episodes. And secondly, this episode does a great job at establishing the concept of death a bit more, and the numerous ways in which someone can perish. On top of that, this episode also sets up Terra Karana very nicely. It introduces us to the Forest of Discontent, the Cliffs of Hysteria, and the Maze of the Red Dragon. However, this episode had its fair share of issues, which we're going to get into next. First of all, Okino has to keep repeating that he is Okino, and that gets boring pretty quickly. I also feel like the scene where Okino meets the other guide is a bit childish in places. There were a few points in that scene where they show anime-style backgrounds, which I feel was completely unnecessary. At a few points in this episode, I also did not like the soundtrack use. In the aforementioned scene, they used the music of Wu getting his memories back in Hunted, and I feel like that was really out of place. I don't know, but to me it just does not feel right to use music from such an epic scene for another scene that has nothing to do with it. I also noticed they used the depressing music from March of the Oni when Lloyd realizes that Cole is gone. Say what you will about Season 10, but that is a fantastic moment in my opinion, and a moment of genuine emotion, which I just don't feel is present in this episode, and here's why. I do feel bad for Okino, but not because he's a bad guy. I feel bad because the people he works with are just complete jerks. A lot of these characters are impulsive, childish, immature, and they don't listen to Okino. These are not characters I care about. In fact, a lot of them are really annoying, and I think they kind of get what they deserve by not listening to Okino. I just didn't really feel any emotion when any of them died, because 11 minutes is not enough to do that. So yeah, I do feel like the emotion in some areas of the episode does fall flat. And using old soundtrack to try and salvage those scenes isn't really helping either. Now, another issue in this episode comes at the end when the ninja arrive. I like that they brought back the Season 11 suits, and it seemed like we may actually see them get their Season 12 suits. But nope, it happens off screen like in every other Ninjago season, and to me in this season it kinda sucks because they had the perfect opportunity to do it on screen. We could have actually seen them buying their suits, and these suits actually do have plot relevance unlike other seasons. And the reason why it's annoying in this season but not other seasons is because they were wearing their Season 11 suits. They had the perfect reason to actually show it on screen. And to be honest, I would have preferred that rather than just seeing Okino failing over and over again. Also, the ninja have already learned about katanas and navigating game zones. This is important information, and there needed to be more of a focus on it. There should have been an entire scene where the ninja were learning about the katanas and navigating game zones. Instead, it just all happens off screen, which is annoying. Even if they had a Prime Empire short to show the ninja getting their suits, that would have been great. But yeah, this is not nearly as big an issue as I'm making it out to be. It's really just a minor issue, but to me I just feel like it's kind of annoying. Let's wrap up with some final thoughts. First of all, the plot, which had a few issues. I don't like that a lot of potentially good ninja moments happened off screen, especially the katana exposition. As for characters though, Okino I really like. A few of the side characters are good, but a lot of them feel really annoying. Action though was good. This episode did not have any major fight scenes, but it still did have some good moments here and there. And lastly, emotion, which as I said, I do feel there are a few flaws with that. It feels rather forced sometimes, especially with the use of old soundtracks. I will be rating this episode a 5.5 out of 10. This was definitely my least favorite episode of the season so far, and to me it was just really boring. It did have some good qualities, such as Okino, and some decent world building. However, though, this episode just has a lot of flaws, and I feel like those flaws really did bring the rating down. I would say this episode is just okay. It's a bit better than mediocre, I'd say, but ultimately it is not terrible, nor is it wonderful. And ultimately, this episode, I would say, is way better than any Season 11 filler. But yeah, that's about all for my review. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone ever you know. Let me know what you guys thought of Episode 5, I Am Okino, and I'll see you next time.